podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Painbearer Corbin Shiv. My friends and I are at Uldrak's grave fighting for our lives against a gang of devils on two-wheeled infernal war machines. They're led by a mysterious cambion named Lilxori, and suddenly, right in the middle of the battle, I disappeared.
So you guys have all watched Corbin completely vanish.
Where the fuck did he go? Where's Corbin?
He did
They
that, right?
They disintegrated him.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Well, did they? Because I didn't see them. I mean, I don't know of any.
Wait, let's get a hold of ourselves. He's been doing new stuff all over the place lately.
That's true.
That is true. Wizen, run him over. I point to the devils in front of us.
It is now Wizen's turn. Wizen has, in fact, turned the Ragawagon on. The engine is growling and screaming with the souls of the damned. He grabs his dusty goggles, puts them over his eyes, and says, "Hold on to something. We're going for a ride." And he pulls the Ragawagon into gear and shifts it forward. So as his action, he's going to drive the Ragawagon forward towards the nearest foe, who is the bearded devil. So he's just gonna try to ram the Ragawagon into the creature. When a vehicle enters the creature's space, creature will take 1d6 bludgeoning damage for each 10 feet the vehicle moved since the last turn. However, the creature can use a reaction and a successful DC 10 dexterity saving throw to take no damage.
Oh, that's low.
Oh.
So with all of you aboard, as the Ragawagon, it has gone, in terms of feet, from its original location, it has gone 30 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's 3d6 if the bearded devil misses its dexterity saving throw. And it rolled an 18. So the bearded devil sees the enormous bulk of the machine coming its way, and wounded as it is, it's able to look up and go and just dive out of the way of the machine. And Wizen pulls the brake and complete to a stop. And that is Wizen's action. He sort of looks over at you, Renascence, and he's like, "I missed him. Gosh." And he looks like he's about to curse, and he says, "Someone hit him with something."
Just when Ofelia was about to get to the ragwagon.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
spent so much time running to it.
It is now Lilxori's turn. Lilxori, who is probably about 10 feet from your position, sees the majority of you on this enormous demon grinder machine, shouts to her devil cohorts, gruff, ragged sounding voice, "Stop them!" She points a finger at the closest one to her on the vehicle. Out of her finger springs two orange rays of intense fire, and she will aim at the closest creature to her, who is Wizen.
Oh boy.
She fires two beams of fire at Wizen. Beam number 1. That is a 15 to hit. Wizen has a 14 AC. That is 23 fire damage. Wizen is hit in the chest.
As she shoots these beams of fire, I see them start to arc like in slow motion towards Wizen, and I manifest not my actual wings that I fly with, but an incorporeal glittery blue pair of wings, and they wrap over Wizen to protect him, to grant him a +3 bonus to his AC against this attack.
Awesome, which brings his AC from 14 to 17, which means that the first fire ray misses, or at least bounces off of your metallic shield.
I look over my shoulder at Hylan. What the hell was that?
I don't know, we can talk about it later.
You look over at Lilxori, she grimaces in anger, and she fires her second ray, which is a 21 to hit.
I thrust Gargs between the ray and Wizen.
And what does that do?
So you gotta roll for damage first.
All right, it's 14 fire damage.
Gargs absorbs 9 of those points of damage. They do not affect Wizen.
Yeah.
It's like a very parental thing in a way. Like
Hands off my special elephant.
Lulu's like, I thought I was
Our bigger special elephant.
Thank you for clarifying.
Full-sized elephant.
You're both our special elephants.
Wizen, he looks up and he's like a little singed, like just from like Garg's protection up. There's just like a blast of ash and soot over his goggles.
Yeah, Garg-shaped outline on it.
Yes, exactly. Gargs has been hit by this fire damage, and in your mind, Gargs says to you,
"Oh, I see. Now you hear me.
I get it.
Lilxori sees that her fire rays haven't had the effect that she has wanted them to. Seeing the enormous teeth of the demon grinder pretty much right in front of her face, she starts to circle around the side of it. And she pulls out that massive Hellfire Warhammer and looks like she's about to jump on the side.
Oh boy.
Ophelia, it is now your turn.
Ophelia will step backwards away from the Ragawagon, and she will focus her gaze and her violin on Lilxori, and she will cast Dissonant Whispers at level 2. She's gonna need to make a DC 15 Wisdom save, Matt.
She rolled a 19.
Okay, so she will take half damage. It's gonna be half of 19 psychic damage.
Her hands fly to her temples as she starts to feel this psychic damage thrumming through her mind. She screams and grits her teeth and closes her eyes, and then she opens them and her eyes glow orange, and she looks at you, Ophelia, points her finger, and she uses her reaction to hellish rebuke you.
Oh no!
She says, "You will die for that." And I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's gonna be an 8 on my dex save.
Ooh, unfortunately, that is a failure. And she casts that at 2nd level, which means that you will take 3d10 fire damage.
3.
That is 16 fire damage.
That hurt a lot, but I am up, and I still have my movement. Let me ask about the logistics of the back of the Ragawagon. How feasible would it be for me to jump on from behind?
Very feasible, actually. All you would need to do is make an athletics just to pull yourself up, because it's a big machine and it just skidded to a stop, or acrobatics to just sort of jump onto it.
Sounds good. Well, that is exactly what I will do. I'm gonna go for acrobatics. That's gonna be a 15 acrobatics check?
Absolutely. Like the good old boys, you jump onto the back of the Ragawagon and slide to a stop right next to Lulu.
Does she look incredibly cool?
I caught it out of the corner of my eye. It looked amazing.
Ophelia casually flips her hair like nothing happened, then slumps back, obviously mildly exhausted by the effort of all that she's just done when no one's looking.
Renascence reaches behind him over the seat and closes his hand over Hylan's wrist, and I will lay on hands on Hylan for 30 hit points.
Bless you.
How many does that leave you with?
10.
Thank you.
All right, so she's up to 34.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, I feel amazing.
That's it for me.
The bearded devil, who has been pretty beaten up, actually, looks at you all on top of the Ragawagon, heeding the words of his captain, Lilxori. He will attempt to battle you all atop the Ragawagon. So he will make an athletics check to jump on top of the Ragawagon. Yeah, that's a crit. So he just flips through the air and lands between Wizen and Renascence, and then will roar with pain, but also delight that he is now within striking range of everybody on top, and will strike with 2 attacks, one with its beard and one with its glaive. The beard attack will be on Wizen, and the glaive attack will be on you, Renascence. Beard attack on Wizen. That's an 8, which will miss Wizen. Wizen is still essentially probably under your shield for the most part, hiding. And then swings around with his glaive to attack you, Renascence. That's a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
As you know, these glaive attacks are pretty vicious. They cause damage, does not heal unless you actually staunch the wound. But in this case, you take 10 slashing damage. Please make a Constitution saving throw.
Only a 7.
Okay, that fails, unfortunately. DC is 12.
No.
So this wound is still bleeding. It's open. The edges of the wound is still sort of held open. So each time the devil hits you with your condition being still wounded, it'll open the wound even further. It'll stretch it open, bleeding even further, unfortunately. Now, of course, you can, like I said, take an action to staunch the wound and make a medicine check to do so. But at this point in time, it is a bleeding, still open wound.
I can also stop it automatically by healing myself,
That's
right?
correct. You can heal
Okay.
any kind of magical healing will close that wound. That is correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Now it is Hylan's turn.
Okay, Hylan is going to ask Renascence. Carrie's going to ask Tal, how are you doing?
Kill it! Kill it!
Okay, I'm just gonna wink at you and say, you seem like you have this under control, and I'm gonna bonus action bamp out my wings, and I'm gonna fly up into the air 30 be 5 feet, and I'm going to throw a psionic blade at this bearded devil.
Okay, unfortunately, as soon as you come out of 10 feet of range of the glaive, it makes an opportunity attack because it has a 10-foot reach with the glaive.
That's fine. I gotta get out of here. It's gonna hit me next time anyway.
Understandable, so it's going to make a strike at you with its glaive. That's a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
I throw my shield out in front of Hylan.
Okay, 9 slashing damage, so how much damage does that block?
10. Completely protects her.
Amazing. Gargoth is like,
Oh, we're having a fun time now, aren't we?
I wince as I sort of pull on the wound a little bit when I throw the shield up.
Oh, God.
But it does.
Amazing.
It does take all the damage.
okay, so you do not need to even make a Constitution saving throw because no damage has been inflicted to you by this
Amazing.
glaive. Okay, so you're flying in the air. Hylan, tell me what you do.
Yes, I am going to manifest my blades, and I'm going to throw the first one at this bearded devil, being very grateful for what Renascence just did. Only a 12.
That will unfortunately miss.
Okay, I'm just gonna stay up there and try to snipe people as much as I can.
We're over to the Barbed Devil now. At the end of the Barbed Devil's turn, you will no longer be frightened, Renascence.
Correct.
Okay. The Barbed Devil will screech and point its hands at a point directly on top of the Raga Wagon. As it does so, a hemisphere of flame appears in a 20-foot radius. This hemisphere of flame appears for a second, and then dozens of barbed black spines burst from this hemisphere of flame, almost as if they're coming out of the Raga Wagon itself. The area on top now of the Raga Wagon is difficult terrain. Any creature that starts its turn in the Raga Wagon's 20-foot radius will take 2d6 fire damage. Any creature that ends its turn in the area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take an additional 2d6 piercing damage.
Oh my god.
This is an ability called Villainous Hell Spikes.
Great.
That's what it does on its turn, and then it backs away 10 feet towards the Devil's Ride motorcycle. It is concentrating on this ability. Let's go to our invisible friend, Painbearer Corbin Shiv.
Corbin's watching all of this, and he's so torn. He wants to help his friends. He wants to kill the devils. He's torn. But then when he just saw whatever this thing is, he is going to fly down towards that barbed devil, and he is going to strike out at him with his big old tattooed white hand at 3rd level and cast Inflict Wounds on him.
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to take this at advantage, and he's going to get within about 10 feet of him, smack him, and then fly back up.
Amazing.
So with advantage, I rolled a 17.
A 17 does, in fact, hit.
Nice. He's going to take 5d10 of necrotic damage.
Oh!
He takes 32 points of necrotic damage out of nowhere.
DC 16 concentration check, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna do it right now. Here's his con save. He got a 24 on his Constitution saving throw. So he is still concentrating on this ability, unfortunately.
I think that's all I've got. So Corbin is just going to fly away from him. So if he takes a swipe at whatever hit him, he'll have no idea where I am. And he'll try to be as quiet as possible. Before I fly away, I'm going to say, leave or it's going to happen again. And then I'll fly away.
It is now Wizen's turn. Wizen is taking your orders, Renascence, so he'll do what you want him to do.
I say, turn right, turn right, turn right, run him over. I point to the barbed devil.
There are a couple of things in the way. There is a Devil's Ride essentially right in the way, but it can attempt to run straight left directly through the barbed devil and its Devil's Ride.
Fuck it. I don't want to damage our wagon. Left, run her over.
Okay, fair. So you want to run over Lilxori as Lilxori is attempting to get on top of the Raga Wagon.
Love it.
Wizen will adjust trajectory and attempt to run. At this point in time, it's really only 10 feet, so if it hits her, it would only do 1d6 of bludgeoning damage.
Right, but she'll be in position for the grinder.
Lilxori will make her dexterity saving throw. That is a 13, which is higher than the DC of 10, so she's able to just sidestep it. The Raga Wagon skids to a stop. Renascence, you're probably the closest. Make a perception check.
10.
You're not quite sure what you're seeing when you look over at Lilxori. There's something strange about her. You look over at her for just like a half a second, and she's just staring at you, and you and she lock eyes, and then there's nothing. And then she's just back to grinding her teeth and brandishing her Hellfire Warhammer. Lilxori sees that you guys are essentially trying to run her over. She just blinks at you, Renascence, and I'd like you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Don't like this.
I don't like any of this.
I got a 19 on the wisdom save.
You feel like whispers in your mind. You hear a gravelly voice saying, You are not meant for this. You will be mine. And you're able to sort of block it out before it goes any further.
I'm the shield.
She just shakes her head, and having done that, enormous black bat-like wings emerge from her back.
Whoa.
And she flies through the air directly at Hylan. Ophelia, it's your turn.
I start my turn on the Ragwagon, so I take certain damage.
Oh yeah, that's a good question, Matt. When the Ragwagon moved, did the barbs come with it?
Good question. If it was on stable ground, the answer would be yes. So I feel like the barbs were sort of coming out of the Ragwagon. So I feel like the answer, unfortunately, would be yes.
Got it.
Any creature that starts its turn takes 2d6 fire damage. 3 fire damage.
Thank you.
Okay, can handle that. If one were to try to remove the barbs, like would Dispel Magic do that?
That's a really good question. This is certainly a magical effect. I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you cast Dispel Magic, that it will dispel this particular effect.
Nice.
Fantastic. Then I'm going to go ahead and cast Dispel Magic. Ophelia begins to play her violin furiously, and as she taps her violin with the bow, the barbs begin to disappear one by one.
Awesome.
Amazing.
And they just sort of dissipate into flecks of motes of black and red. And they are no longer on the Ragwagon. You guys all feel that pressure and fire go away.
Cheers, Ophelia.
Yep.
All right, Renascence, your turn.
All right, I gotta drop this bearded devil. I am bleeding from that open wound, but I gotta start taking swings at him anyway. I swing at him with Heaven's Fall. Dirty 20.
Indeed, it will hit.
Okay, so he's gonna take 8 magical bludgeoning and 3 radiant for a total of 11 damage.
He is looking real messed up from that hit, but he is not dead.
I'm gonna dump a Divine Smite on him. Oh, let's say level 1. Okay, so he is a fiend, so that'll be 3d8 radiant. An additional 10 points of radiant damage.
With that smite, he turns into this black sludge and his body falls to the ground. As you all know, when devils die in their home plane, they die for real, and in this case, he certainly does.
Yes.
So because this wound still is bleeding, you lose 1d10, and that was a 1.
She's how high in the air?
As high as Hylan is. Hylan, how high are you in the air?
35 feet.
I'm just gonna run to the back of the wagon just to get a little closer to her, but that is all I can do. I end my turn.
Hylan, it is now your turn.
I'm just gonna stare at her. It's sort of like looking into a mirror. I have these metallic dragon wings and she has her black wings, and we're both just staring each other down. And I just look at her and I say, "You don't have to do this." And I manifest my blades and I stab her.
As you say that to her, she looks at you with hatred and she says, "You have no idea what I have to do."
I really zero in on her and I really steady myself. I'm gonna use steady aim and hit her. That's a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
That's 6 psychic and 10 sneak attack, plus an extra 8 because my wings are out, so that's 24.
Big hit. Yeah, she howls in pain as your psychic blade goes into her flesh. As your blade enters her body, she rears back with her hand, which is glowing with fire, and now you can make a dexterity saving throw as she uses Hellish Rebuke on you.
So I'm gonna use evasion on it. That's a 23.
All right, you whoosh, it just goes right over your head. In this case, because you use evasion, it wouldn't matter how much damage it would do to you because it does nothing.
Excellent. My glowing blue eyes just stare at her after I re-level myself.
So the barbed devil will, as a bonus action, it flares its spines. You saw the barbed devil in High Hall do this, and leaps through the air 30 feet from its position, right at you, Hylan. So it runs 10 feet forward towards your position, Hylan, and just jumps straight up in the air, having bared its spines.
Corbin would like to take a smack at him as he goes by.
Absolutely, go for it.
Because I have Warcaster and I have big long arms.
Awesome.
Very nice, very nice.
And I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds at level 2. I'm at advantage. I critted him.
Nice!
The regular damage is 24 plus another 22. So that's 46 points of crit damage as I clothesline him.
Awesome job.
Awesome.
He's very badly hurt. You see an enormous glob of flesh just peel away from him as you smack through him.
Wow.
But he continues his ascent. As he jumps, he just like screams in pain, but then performs 3 attacks. 1 with its tail and 2 with its claws on Hylan. Its tail That is a 23 to hit.
That will hit. All right, I will uncanny dodge it, yeah.
Okay, so that only does 5 piercing damage, and then it will use its 2 claws. That is a 20 to hit,
That will hit.
4 piercing, and then a 23 to hit.
That will also hit.
Another 9 damage.
Okay.
So 5 plus 4 plus 9.
Got it.
So that's 18 damage.
Yep.
How you looking?
I got 16 hit points.
Corbin, it's your turn.
Where is this guy now?
He has landed on the ground after he's jumped up in the air. Let's make him make a dexterity saving throw to see if he falls in his face, though.
Yeah, gonna say.
He just took a 30 feet drop.
He took a giant 30 feet drop, so let's make a dexterity saving throw. Yeah, he rolled a 17. He's fine. He lands nimbly on his feet, 3-point stance, superhero style. Corbin, your turn.
Corbin is once again conflicted because he sees what's happening, but he is going to fly invisible around to the west side of Lilxori. He's going to be like, everywhere, and he's going to fly around her as he says this, and then he's going to stop, so he's going to flank with Hylan, and he is going to smack her at 3rd level with another inflict wound. So the first roll is a 13, the second roll is a 13.
Well, with advantage, that's a 13. Yeah. As you're like saying that, I'm everywhere. Lilxori just sort of like, I know. And as you swing for her head, it's just like Matrix style, she just dodges out of the way. Back up to the top of the order, Wizen is looking a little stressed.
Yeah, hard right, drive under them, run him over.
Okay, Wizen just like makes a Yui basically and will attempt to run straight through the barbed devil. You guys all hold on to your hats as the thing just makes a complete 180 almost. And see the distance is, looks like it's 20 feet, 25 feet. So rounding down, that's 20 feet. So if it hits, it'll do 2d6 bludgeoning. DC is a 10. So Hylan, you're essentially above them 35 feet, fighting with Lilxori in the air as all this stuff is happening directly below you. All right, Barb Devil, dexterity saving throw. That's 12. So close, but no cigar. It makes a tumbling roll out of the way. Wizen's like, I could get out, and I don't know. I got these, and he puts up his enormous elephant hands and rolls them into fists.
I say, those hands are the only hands that can drive this car. Keep the hands safe.
Lilxori looks at you, Hylan, and says, just before she strikes with her enormous warhammer, she says, Draga will fall. All of them will fall before the might of my mother! And then she just swings the Hellfire Warhammer twice at your head. That's a 24 to hit. So that is 11 bludgeoning plus 5 fire damage.
She says that. I'm thinking to myself, we're not even ragged drip. And then I am unconscious and start falling towards the car.
Oh, shit.
Hi everybody, the show will be back shortly for the second half. First, it's time to tell you about how you can play D&D with us. Would you like to battle an infernal motorcycle gang like our heroes are doing in this episode? Well, Cast Party's professional dungeon masters are available to hire for online games. We have games for kids as well as for adults, and our DMs can run almost any of the official Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventures, as well as third-party adventures and some we've created ourselves. If you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. Follow us on Facebook at CastPartyDND, on Twitter at CastParty2, on Instagram at Cast_Party, or on TikTok at Cast_Party. Thanks very much for listening. And now, back to our adventure in Avernus.
You're unconscious. When you hit the car, that'll be a single death saving throw as you hit. Bam!
Could any of us use a reaction, Matt, to try to soften her fall in any sort of ways? We see.
Do you want to try it, Ofelia? You can use your reaction
if
now.
Ophelia's standing right there, I think that she would, yeah.
Go for it.
I don't know what check that would be.
So make a dexterity check.
Okay, you got it.
18. So wham, Ophelia's like sees her falling and just jumps up. Maybe, I don't know if your strength is enough, but enough to definitely soften her blow that she doesn't hit straight into the Ragawagon and the death save does not occur.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That said, yeah, she still has another attack. So she will shoot at you, Ophelia, with her fire ray. It's a 25 to hit.
I throw Gargs in front of Ofelia. So you can roll for damage. I'll tell you how much it's reduced by.
12 fire damage.
I absorb 10 of it.
Awesome.
A really good one.
Ofelia is singed and not feeling amazing. I'm at 18 of 51 hit points, but I'm here.
She catches Hylan, and then I just sort of get the shield in front of both of them.
Awesome.
Lilxori will then fly her entire movement directly away from you over to her.
That's a free attack from Corbin.
It is?
Oh, yeah.
Because she doesn't see you, Corbin, so go ahead and give her an attack.
Inflict wounds at second level. Another 13. This seems to be my
All right.
roll. And a 15?
15 is not enough, unfortunately.
Oh!
You swing at her, and she understands the sort of trajectory of where you were before, so she just braces for it and dodges underneath it.
Just the spell slots of it all.
And Lilxori lands on the ground, and her wings curl back and fold behind her back. It is now Ophelia's turn.
Help Hylan, she's dying.
You think I'm not going to do that? I'm literally cradling her body in my arms right now. Yes, I'm going to help Hylan.
I got her if you can do something else.
Oh, who the fuck said that? Is Corbin still here? He's not disintegrated. Corbin is somewhere. I start pawing the air.
While that's happening, those shenanigans are happening, so I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. So I heal Hylan 9 hit points.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As a bonus action, I give Hylan Bardic Inspiration. I heal her and then I whisper into her ear, "It's not your time, Hylan. We can still rally."
I give you a hug.
Oh, she hugs you back.
Renascence, your turn.
I'm still bleeding, so you can go roll for damage on me.
That is 9 hit points of damage.
Fuck. Yeah. Okay, do I want to roll the dice on this shit?
Heal yourself.
I know, but then I can't do any fucking thing else. I point the devil fingers towards Lilxori, and I whistle, and nothing fucking whatsoever happens. And I say to Gogs, "What the fuck did you do, Gogs?" And
You said that out loud.
do you both hear me say that through gritted teeth? And then I drop my hand upside down instead, and I fire 2 eldritch blasts at her.
Nice!
Oh my god.
First one has a 15,
That will miss.
and a 14. They both miss.
Gargs, in your mind, Renascence is like,
It's a gift, Renaissance. You just have to get used to it.
You bastard. That is the end of my turn.
Hylan, it is now yours.
Okay, I've just hugged Ophelia. I heard that happen. No time to talk about it now. I turn around. I see the barbed devil. It's probably going to just try to jump right back on here. I'm going to manifest my blades. I'm going to use steady aim, and I'm going to shoot a blade at that devil. Did I hit with an 18?
Yeah,
Great.
the answer is yes.
Fantastic. So that's 4 psychic and 12 sneak attack for a total of 16.
The blade enters and disappears. The creature grunts and is starting to heave, but it is not dead.
Is it bad?
Sorry.
Oh,
guys.
it looks pretty busted. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll get it next time.
As a bonus action, it will do the same it did before, except instead of jumping up in the air at Hylan, it jumps directly in the middle of the wagon. Lands, roars, and then launches into a set of 3 attacks. 1 with its tail and 2 with its claws. The first claw attack will be on Ofelia. That's a 13 to hit.
That will miss.
Second, also on you, Ofelia, seeing as it's missed. That's a 24 to hit. That is 8 piercing damage.
I'm at 10 hit points, friend.
And then, seeing that you are staggered, it will rear back with its spiked tail and whip it at you. That's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
I throw Gargs in front of Ophelia.
Okay, let's see how much it reduces.
It blocks 6 points of damage.
It had 10 on the piercing, so it blocks it, brings down some 4 hit points.
Amazing.
What?
How much you got left, Ofelia?
I have 6 hit points left. 10 would have leveled me.
Ooh, boy. Yeah, this creature's right in the midst of you.
Can I
Corbin,
say
your
it?
turn.
Am I allowed to say it?
Go for it, go ahead.
I can do this all day.
Corbin is going to say,
You must protect them.
and we're going to be surrounded by orange twilight.
There we go.
God.
And the Twilight Sanctuary has now been cast. Now,
Hashtag bless.
Corbin is centered on this. Even though he's invisible, this orange glow is
There
all
seems to be a circle, and in the middle of, in the central point of the circle is an invisible bugbear.
which nobody can see. So it's a 30-foot radius, so it's huge. Of course, all my friends are in. as this orange twilight surrounds all of us, and it makes us all feel good, looking at this lovely sunset, a little sliver is going to crack over by our friend Lilxori. Is that her name?
Close enough. Lilxori.
And a fluffy little pillow is going to come out, and it's going to take a shot at her. A 16?
No, unfortunately. Yeah, the pillow, it just like, it whoops through the air, and almost preternaturally, Lilxori turns her head over her shoulder, and the pillow sort of like ends up on the other side of her, like Doctor Strange's cape. You know, like it sort of like looks like both ways, like, hey, what? Anything else, Corbin?
Yes. Invisible Corbin is going to fly a little bit closer to her, and he's going to kind of fly in a circle to try to mix things up so she can't quite tell maybe where the center is. But I'm going to make sure my friends stay in the aura. I'm kind of like flying serpentine, so she doesn't quite know where this aura is going.
I'd like you all to make a perception check.
Okay.
Corbin gets 9 temps, by the way.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Renaissance got a 3.
Hylan got a 15.
Ophelia got a 5.
Corbin with his plus 10 got a 23.
Corbin, the man in the sky, looking down at Lilxori, and then beyond her, into the horizon, you see 2 enormous trails of dust heading in your direction.
Does it look like 2 war machines, or is it like 2 big clouds? It could be 2 groups.
With a 23 perception, I think that you see that in the middle of these enormous clouds of dust are a single object per cloud. So there are probably 2 of these infernal war machines coming in your direction. And they are accelerating with great speed.
Gotta get out of here.
We gotta get the ball. The ball off the top of the sword.
In Celestial, Corbin is going to say, 2 incoming, I'll get the ball, go.
Wizen, you remember how I told you absolutely never to use your fists?
Yeah?
Use your fists now, punch it.
He's like, but Corbin, what about Corbin?
Well, what about the devil that's on our car? Kill it.
Wizen says, okay. Wizen will attempt to punch Mr. Spiky. Wizen just puts up his fists, and you just hear like a crack of elephantine knuckles, and he's like, how about a little how do you do, Mr. Spiky? And then he lashes out with 2 unarmed strikes. The first is a 17, which will hit.
Excellent.
Holy, that's enough.
Wow!
Well, I mean, the creature was badly damaged.
But still, it's cool.
Yeah, just 1 hit, and as you guys watch, this fist of fury lances out from Wizen, hits the creature square in the jaw. You hear an enormous crack of bone and sinew, and the head pops right the fuck off.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I saw a barbed devil head, and now I just see Wizen's head and an empty neck.
Exactly. He's like, can we get the fuck out of here now?
He gets 9 temps, by the way.
He earned it.
It is now Lilxori's turn. Lilxori turns over her shoulder, sees the plumes of dust in the distance. She says, my horde are coming. You will all fall. It is best to give up now. And then she gets on her bike, revs the engine, and pops a wheelie as a bonus action, and rides it directly at your vehicle in a ramming fashion. And let's see, it'll do damage to both vehicles. I guess Lilxori will make a dexterity check to make sure that the stunt actually works. And that's just a DC 10. Yep, she got it with a 19, no problem. It will do 1d6 bludgeoning damage, and all of you will take the same DC 15 strength save.
You all get a +3 on that saving throw because you're within
Cool.
10 feet of me.
So I got a 16.
I only got a 14.
So that's going to be a 24 for me.
This thing has basically just rammed itself right into the tire.
Does anything happen to me as a result of having failed the save?
You just take 1 point of damage. But right now, the demon grinder can't move. It's just slammed in there.
Ophelia, she's in pretty bad shape. I think I'm just going to cast Cure Wounds on myself, and I'm going to do it at a level 2. So 10 hit points. And that is it for me.
You get 9 temps, too.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Renaissance, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm still bleeding, so you can go ahead and roll that.
3 damage.
Fuck. Looking down at the motorcycle that is rammed into the war machine, do I think I'm strong enough to pull the motorcycle out?
Ooh. What's your strength?
16.
Maybe not.
All right, I run to the front of the wagon. Do I need to be on the ground to do that,
Yes.
or can I?
Leverage-wise, you will need to, because the wagon is 10 feet up in the air.
Oh man, I don't like this. I don't like this.
In that case, I step back to where I was.
So
Jesus.
you run up to the front and then run back?
No, you did.
I said I did.
Well, you ran up to the front and looked at it.
I ran up to the front and assessed it, and then went back. So I have plenty of movement to do that with. Fuck. Okay, how far is she from the front of the wagon?
10 feet.
I fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at her. First shot is a crit. It's a crit.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus. For only 3 force damage.
Hell of a crit.
I take a second shot, and that is a 15, which will miss.
Yes, unfortunately. So the first hit, it just grazes her shoulder, and she sort of clasps her hand over it, and she just grimaces, and she says, "You are going to die in my hands."
I don't say anything to that. That's rude.
I mean, it is rude.
That's the end of my turn.
Hylan, your turn.
Never going to happen. And I manifest my blades. I focus, I use steady aim, and I throw one at her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Temps, Corbin?
Oh,
You get everyone's doing 9. Whatever I roll first, we're doing that.
very cool, very cool, very
Thank you.
cool.
That's a crit!
There we go.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that's 9 plus 33, which means 42 points of damage. Don't talk to my special tiefling that way.
As she raises her arm to her shoulder, she leaves a little bit of her armor underneath her armpit open, and you see that there's just flesh there. There's no armor at all protecting it. And so you immediately see it, your eyes zoom into that area and lance out with your psychic blade, and it just goes right, smack dab, jackpot right into that area, and she immediately curls up in a ball, and she gasps for air. But she is still alive. Corbin, your turn.
How far did she move from my pillow? Can I still swoop it in 20 feet and hit her?
I say so, yes.
Hylan, you get 9 temps, by the way.
Thank you.
He will move his pillow in, take a shot at her. 12 will miss.
She just sidles out of the way.
Corbin will swoop down, and once again he'll whisper in her ear in infernal, "I'm still here." And he's going to cast Inflict Wounds at first level because he's running out of spell slots.
Yep.
That would be a crit.
Very nice.
Awesome!
So he did 8 plus 16, which is 24 points of necrotic damage.
That hurts real bad. You see her starting to really get upset. She's coughing up black bile. Corbin, the plumes of dust are now twice as large as what you saw before, and you can hear maybe 300 or 400 feet from you the sound of 2 enormous engines coming your way.
Okay, with Corbin's awesome perception, with his bugbear ears and his nose, can he take a guess how long till they get here?
1 round.
They're gonna be here! Quick! Less than 10 seconds!
Gotta get out of here.
Wizen's turn. Wizen has looked down at his fist. He's like, "I knew you could do it, babies." And he kisses them. He then gets behind the wheel of the ragawagon, looks over at the 3 of you left and Lulu and says, "Is now a time to go?" And he looks and points at the 2 plumes of dust.
Wait, I thought we couldn't because the motorcycle is stuck in the wagon.
"Oh shit," Wizen says. "That motorcycle's stuck in my fucking gears."
I say, if you turn the grinder on, will that help?
"Oh, damn right." Wizen runs over to the grinder and activates the grinder. That's an attack on the motorcycle. Here we go. That is a 20 to hit. Let's see what the AC of the motorcycle is. 19 while motionless, so it hits. So bam, it does a 20 piercing damage to the motorcycle, and the motorcycle has 30 hit points. So you've done 2/3 of it. You guys see that the front of it is just chomp, 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 chewed up. This frees the demon grinder from the devil's ride that has peeled into it. Doesn't do any damage to Lilxori, who's looked down at her motorcycle being torn to shreds, and she just is so upset.
That was his action, was to turn it on so he can't drive it.
He cannot drive it at this point in time. And then he looks out the back of the ragawagon where there are some these enormous pipes, and you just see that a lawnmower just spitting out of the back of the demon grinder. On the sides, on the back, are all these pieces of shrapnel and metal from the actual bike that it's chewed up. He gets behind the steering wheel, ready to get the hell out of Dodge. It's Lilxori's turn. Lilxori looks at you. She's busted pretty bad. And she says a single set of words that will resonate through all of you. My mother will come for you. And then she disappears as a portal of flame appears behind her, and she steps out through it. And the portal flame closes, and she is gone. And Lilxori is out of combat. So for all intents and purposes, you have no more foes to fight, except the 2 giant ones coming your way. I'm gonna give you guys all one action that you want to do, including Wizen.
We need that thing, right?
I got it.
Ofelia, it's your turn. What's your one action?
I'm here. Over here. No,
Corbin.
over here. No, I'm here. No, look this way.
Do you have to see
Wherever
someone
you
for
are.
bardic inspiration?
He has to hear her.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
he has to be able to hear me. Wherever
doesn't know
you
that.
are, Corbin. Yeah, she just sort of generally looks in the direction that she hears his voice and just says, well, wherever you are, Corbin, go get that orb and I'll write a song about you.
Aw.
He is bardically inspired. That is my last bardic inspiration until we rest.
Renascence, what's your action?
Do I think that hitting the pommel of the giant sword with force damage might loosen the gem?
Worth a try.
I fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at the pommel, like aiming right below the gem.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the AC is 17.
That's a 22 on the first shot, and a 19 on the second shot.
Pew pew! And you watch as the orb topples a little bit, but it's still up there, but it seems much more loose than it was before.
Cool.
Corbin, go for it.
All right, not my turn yet, though.
Hylan, your turn.
What I'm gonna do is, are you still bleeding?
Yes.
I'm gonna cure wounds on you. We'll get only 4 points.
Important thing is I'm not bleeding.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
stop
indeed.
you from bleeding.
And for this round, the temps actually eat the bleed anyway.
And then finally, Mr. Corbin Shiv.
Corbin is going to fly up to that pommel of that and try to wrench that gem out of there.
Make an athletics check. I'll drop the DC since it was loosened.
Do I have advantage because I'm invisible?
It'll never see me coming.
No.
I rolled a 10.
Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, you do have it.
Such a crappy roll.
Probably within reach of the Bardic Inspiration, though.
All right, I'll do it. What do I get? It's a D8?
Yep.
5, so that's a 15.
Holy smokes, the DC was 15.
Does the gem turn invisible, or is it just a floating gem?
It is just a floating gem right now. You've got the rock, Corbin. You got the rock.
I'll use as much of my movement as possible to get closest to one of the motorcycles.
Yes! I
Nice.
was hoping somebody would take one of
Going
these.
metal.
And Wizen will turn on the Raga wagon, put on his goggles, and say, "You said punch it? I'm gonna really punch it now." And he grabs the demon ichor that you guys have given to him.
Yes.
And as a bonus action, pours the demon ichor into the still running engine. And you see this enormous cloud of green smoke whoosh out of the engine. Thanks for listening. This episode featured Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Andy Cannistra as Painbearer Corbin Shiv, Carolyn Fox as Hylan, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Matt Gordon, as the Dungeon Master. This episode was edited by Carolyn Fox and Tal Aviezer. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode of Descent into Avernus.
Yeah. I'm believing you when you said that attacking this thing would not cause it to hurt him.
That's
I hope
possible.
you didn't lie to me.
Why would I lie
Don't
to
con
you?
me, Matt.